What's up YouTube, it's your boy Ancient Prophet bringing you guys a special Dcuo video. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to be a straight up god in PvP, whether it's arenas, 2s, 1s, you name it, you're going to be a god as long as you follow this loadout and listen to my tips and my instructions. So yeah, let's get right into it. So first we'll get right into it. Let's go ahead and go to our stats. So for weapons, all we're going to do is we're going to spec 3 into our rifle. So we're going to get the rifle weapon proficiency, then we're going to get overhead smash, and then we're going to get rifle slam. And that's all I use, and that's all I need for my weapon. And it's good for people with low skill points because you don't have to spec that many skill points into your weapon tree. Then we'll go down to skimming, and we have hyper skimming, dive bomb, and then I just have stun resistant and restraint resistant. Now feel free to go ahead and max this out if you have extra skill points. It's not necessary, I don't use it, but again, if you have extra skill points, feel free to go ahead and max those out. Then we'll go down to iconic powers. All I have for iconic powers is the hard light shield, and you don't need super strength. I just always get it on all my builds for whatever reason, don't ask why. But yeah, all you really need here is hard light shield. And then we'll go down to our stat points. Now here's where you got to pay attention. So for our stat points, we are only going to spec hybrid, and we are only going to use 10 in our critical healing chance and 10 in our critical attack chance. The reason why I like to use hybrid is because it gives us 10% might, but it also gives us 5% dominance, which can help with our healing and help with our shields in PvP, since our restoration gets buffed as we queue, or if we queue as healer role. So again, we're going to go 10 in our critical healing chance and our 10 in our critical attack chance, because if you put 20 into one of those, it's not going to do any good, and you definitely don't want to put any into the critical magnitude, because it's going to get capped once you queue into arenas, so it's going to do you no good, and it's just a waste of skill points. So again, you're going to go hybrid. You can go super powered if you really want to, but I would recommend hybrid for this playstyle and for this build. So again, we're going hybrid, then we're going 10 critical healing chance, 10 critical attack chance, then we're going to scroll down. The first thing that you're going to want to max out is might and power. Now if you don't have enough skill points to max out might and power, you're just going to want to put all the skill points that you have into might and power. If you can max out your might and power, then you're going to want to put a healthy amount into your health. I usually like putting about 20 to 40 into my health. If you don't have enough to get the whole 40, then feel free to go 10 or 20 or however much you have. And then I usually put at least 70 into my precision. Again, I have skill points, so I can do this. If you don't have enough skill points, I would recommend going might and power and then just maxing out your health, or going might and power and then maxing out your precision. One of the two, I'll kind of leave that up to you. But as you can see, I've maxed out my might and power, and then I have 70 into precision, I have 40 into health, and then I also threw the rest of my skill points, which ended up being 27, into dominance, because dominance does not get capped if you queue in as a healer. So your dominance will not get capped, and it will actually increase the potency of your shields, and it will actually increase the potency of your heals. So it's kind of a trick to the one of the tools of the trade, or one of the tricks that a lot of people don't know, is that most stats get capped. Your main stats get capped. So for a healer, your restoration gets capped, so you don't want to put any skill points into your restoration. You want to stick with might and power, because that's going to give you maximum power, and it's going to allow you to do maximum damage. And then anything you can spec into dominance is just going to help your shields and heals. This is going to be a mixed loadout, so we're going to use weapon attacks and we're going to use power. So we're going to go ahead and spec some into precision, and then it's always good to have health, in my opinion, because it's whether you're a tank or not, I just always like having a little bit of health, just so it gives me a little bit of breathing room, and so I'm not stressing about my health getting too low right away. So yeah, now we'll go ahead and get into the loadout. So for loadout, from left to right, it's going to be hard light shield, then it's going to be circuit breaker, then it's going to be flux, then it's going to be electrogenesis, then it's going to be arc lightning, and then it's going to be Tesla blast. And I'm going to tell you guys right now, really the only powers that I use is electrogenesis and flux, and then arc lightning. These other 3 moves, circuit breaker, hard light shield, and Tesla blast, are only for certain situations, and I'll get into that later on in the video. So yeah, just to kind of give you guys an idea of how this loadout works. So to begin every single fight, you're going to want to clip electrogenesis with flux, and it's going to look like this. And then you're going to want to 5 tap with your rifle, and then once you see that last move, then you're going to hit arc lightning, then you'll go right back into your 5 tap, Arc Lightning, then you'll tap. As soon as Electrogenesis pops up, you're going to hit it, and then you're going to go right back into a tap, or you're going to hit it and then hit Arc Lightning, depending on what your health is looking like and depending on the amount of damage that your opponent is putting out. And so the one thing about this is, if your opponent is putting out a lot of damage, then you can clip this to start and then weapon tap and then hit Arc Lightning and then weapon tap until you see Arc Lightning pop up again, and just rinse and repeat. Now, the reason why I have Tesla Blast is only for when my opponent runs out of power. So it's kind of like my secret weapon. It's like my secret clip. I kind of keep it in my back pocket, and the minute that I suspect or that I see my opponent has ran out of power, that's when I'm going to start using Arc Lightning and Tesla Blast. Tesla Blast does a lot of damage, but it can also waste a lot of power if you spam it. So that's why I wait until my opponent has ran out of power until I start using that. Hard Light Shield, I really only use Hard Light Shield if I'm taking a lot of damage, like if I'm queuing 4s or if I'm running 8s and I'm just getting beat up and I'm taking a lot of damage. Then I might hit Electrogenesis and clip it with Hard Light Shield if Flux is on cooldown. Just kind of depends on the situation. And then Circuit Breaker, again, as soon as that thing maxes out, as soon as my supercharge maxes out, that's when I go ahead and hit Circuit Breaker, and I just kind of use it as just kind of extra damage and just kind of as another secret tool in my back pocket, if that makes sense. So yeah, again, we're going to clip Electrogenesis with Flux, and then we're going to rifle tap, Arc Lightning, rifle tap, and then hit Arc Lightning as soon as it comes back up. And it pretty much works out to where as soon as you finish this 5th tap, you're going to hit Arc Lightning, and then by the time you 5 tap again, Arc Lightning is going to be off cooldown. So it pretty much works out perfect in that sense, and that's why I think this loadout is so efficient, because again, we're not spamming power, and Arc Lightning and Electrogenesis do the bulk of the healing. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into some gameplay. Okay, so we're queued into a little bat cave, and I'm going to show you guys exactly how to use this loadout and kind of how I fight in PvP. And again, I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys the key to PvP, no matter what power you are, is managing your power bar. So you don't want to spam powers, you don't want to run out of power, you want to try to outlast your opponent. Alright, so this guy's atomic, so again, Electrogenesis to Flux, and now we're right into our 5 tap. Then we'll Arc Lightning, and we're 5 tapping. Looks like this guy's using his shield, so now that we see this guy's using his weapon, we're going to counter just like that. So as you can see, I countered him. He's got his aura on, and I know that he's in trouble because his damage or his health is already dropping. So again, Electrogenesis, Flux, 5 tap, Arc Lightning. And he's doing a good job healing, but let's see, he's not too experienced with his weapon. As you see, I get an easy counter right there. Now, the key with this is, as soon as he pops another shield, or as soon as he pops another power, since his health is already dropping like that, I know his power is probably running a little bit low. So now he's popping his powers. Now we're going to try to put the pressure on him, and we're going to try and use Tesla Blast. So now you can see his health is dropping. We don't have to worry about hitting Electrogenesis or Flux because his health is dropping and our health is kind of staying the same. And again, we don't want to waste our power too much, so that's why we're back to our Arc Lightning and we're back to our 5 tap. So now we're just going to play just keep on keeping on. We're just going to keep 5 tapping, Arc Lightning, and he's out of power. He caught the blues, so now we're going to go ahead and just spam. He popped his soda. The main rule in PvP is he pops, you pop. So as soon as your opponent pops your soda or pops their soda, you're going to want to pop your soda right after. Reason being is, if you wait to pop your soda, he might be able to pop 2 sodas by the time you pop 1, and then he'll inherently have the damage. As you see, I get a nice little counter right there. He thought he was going to get me, and he's almost out of power. Let's go ahead and finish him off, Arc Lightning and Tesla Blast. And there you guys have it. So again, you see I kind of weapon tapped and kind of used my rifle, and I waited until he ran out of power to really start spamming, and then as soon as I see him run out of power, as soon as I start catching those blues, that's like a green light, and then I can go ahead and tear him up with my Tesla Blast. Okay, so we got Batcave to queue up again. So again, I'm going to kind of give you guys another first look at kind of how I PvP and how I use this electricity loadout. So we're flying in again. First thing we're going to do is pop Electrogenesis and clip it with Flux. So we'll go ahead and pop that. Now we're right into our weapon attack. And so again, Arc Lightning and back into the 5 tap. Arc Lightning, back into the 5 tap. As soon as you get knocked down like that, I usually follow back with a lunge, and we're going to go right back into our 5 tap. As soon as Electrogenesis is up, we're going to pop it. and we're going right back into our 5 tap, and again we just want to stay patient. So right now I'm not really spamming anything, and as you can see my health is staying where it's at because of Electrogenesis and because of Arc Lightning and because of my skill point spec into Dominance, and his health is dropping, or her health is dropping, and now we know that they're pretty much finished. He pops his soda. Now we're gonna go ahead and just spam Tesla Blast because we've been conserving our power and saving our power. So now it's pretty much game over for this guy. He's already popped his soda. He's trying to spam all he can, but that's not going to do him any good because again we had our secret weapon, which is Tesla Blast, and we waited, we stayed patient. As soon as his health started blasting, as soon as his health started getting low and he was using all of his shields and he was using a lot of his power, that's when we went ahead and went in with the Tesla Blast and just kind of finished him off. So that's it, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Hopefully you guys learned something. If you guys want to see a part 2, make sure you let me know down in the comments. Make sure you guys comment, like, subscribe. Again, if you want to see me fight some more people using this loadout and kind of try to explain it a little bit more, and if you guys want to see me again face some more opponents, or if you want to see me queue 4s or 8s or whatever, just make sure you let me know in the comments down below and I will make that part 2 video happen. So again, make sure you guys comment, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.